The Bold and the Beautiful, Secrets, Scandal, and DNA. Finn's world shatters. Bridget faces the fallout, and RJ's paternity bomb rocks the Forresters. Tuesdays. The Bold and the Beautiful doesn't just drip tension, it detonates it. The air inside Forrester Creations has turned electric, brittle, and volatile. Behind the smooth lines of haute couture, the polished corridors and pristine labs, something unspoken has been brewing. Hidden truths, buried DNA, and paternity secrets that refuse to stay silent. As medical files collide with family politics, and whispers in hospital halls turn into courtroom war cries, every test tube, signature, and sterile procedure becomes a loaded weapon. At the center of this chaos are Drive, John Finnegan, Drive, Bridget Forrester, and a newborn whose parentage threatens to rewrite the entire balance of power between families. Because the test results are in, and RJ Forrester is the father. Finn never saw it coming. When whispers about Luna's condition began circulating, he dismissed them at first. Too far-fetched, too cruel, but the pressure mounted. He knew something was off. Luna's behavior, her silence, the vague excuses, none of it added up. And now, the truth is right in front of him, staring him down like a ghost with no intention of leaving quietly. Luna's child isn't his. It never was. The DNA says otherwise. The biological father is RJ. Ridge Jr., the golden boy, the afterthought who just became the most dangerous player in the room. The news doesn't break gently. It hits like a blade, sharp and precise, slicing through every assumption, every bond, every illusion Finn had left. This isn't just about a betrayal. It's about a complete collapse of everything he thought he understood. He didn't just believe he was the father he wanted to be. He was ready for the responsibility, for the sleepless nights, for the years ahead. He had envisioned a future. One with Luna, with their child, with a family that he could protect. All of that is gone now. Shattered, erased by a single strand of DNA. Luna, meanwhile, is caught in a vortex of shame and panic. Her silence, once a protective shield, now feels like a prison. She didn't mean for this to happen. She didn't plan for RJ to be the father. But she knew, deep down, she must have known there was a possibility. That possibility has now become reality. And with it, a chain reaction has been triggered, one that no one can stop. Across town, Drive, Bridget Forrester finds herself in the eye of the storm. The paternity results are her responsibility. The samples were processed under her supervision. The chain of custody, the integrity of the test, the final interpretation, all of it falls on her shoulders. And that's not just a professional burden. It's personal, because Bridget isn't just a doctor, she's a Forrester. She's tied to the families on both sides of this divide. Every move she makes is under a microscope. Every signature on the lab report could be accused of bias, manipulation, or worse, conspiracy. The media catches wind of the scandal almost instantly. An anonymous leak, a whispered phone call, maybe even a lab tech who got paid off. Whatever the source, it doesn't matter now. The news is out. RJ Forrester named father in Luna paternity shocker. Headlines like that don't just trend. They detonate. The Forresters are under siege. Bridget is bombarded by reporters. Her ethics questioned. Her neutrality shredded in the court of public opinion. Protesters gather outside the hospital. Some accusing her of protecting her family. Others accusing her of betrayal. Online trolls flood her inbox. Legal threats from rival families begin to pile up. The microscope has turned into a spotlight, and Bridget can't move without drawing fire. Inside the Forrester boardroom, the fallout begins to take shape in legal ink and signature lines. Because this isn't just about paternity. It's about control, of names, of legacies, of shares, of custody. The child, RJ's child, is now a Forrester by blood. That changes everything. Suddenly, Luna is at the center of a power shift that could upend corporate holdings. RJ's stock value within Forrester Creations just skyrocketed. His stake in the company is no longer theoretical. It's generational. Brooke Logan, RJ's mother, reacts with a mixture of maternal pride and political calculation. She's always known RJ had potential. Now she sees the opportunity. A child means a seat at the table. A permanent legacy. A reason to push harder, negotiate tougher, claim more. But not everyone is cheering. Ridge is silent, too silent. He's been here before. He knows how fast the tides turn when babies and business intersect. He's seen families split over less. Taylor Hayes is devastated. Her son Finn has been blindsided, humiliated. And there's nothing she can do to fix it. Her long-standing rivalry with Brooke threatens to reignite. Not over Ridge this time, but over the future of a baby that's now a pawn in a game too dangerous to ignore. Meanwhile, Luna's own position becomes precarious. She's not a Logan. She's not a Forrester. She's an outsider. A woman with a child who suddenly holds weight in a boardroom war. Everyone wants something from her now. Her silence. Her loyalty. Her cooperation. Every family is making offers, some subtle, some overt. Legal custody. Living arrangements. Trust funds. Prenuptial agreements. It's a feeding frenzy, and Luna is the bait. RJ, for his part, is stunned. He didn't expect this. He barely remembers the moment that led to this outcome. But he's not running. Not this time. Whether it's guilt or pride, he steps up. He claims the child. He asserts his rights. He makes it clear to everyone. He's not going to let this become another Forrester secret buried under the rug. He wants to be a father. He wants to do the right thing. But what right looks like in this family is always up for interpretation. Legal teams assemble. Contracts are drafted. Meetings are scheduled. The word custody is thrown around like currency. Finn wants visitation. RJ wants full rights. Luna is torn. Bridget is called to testify to the legitimacy of the results. Every word, every email, every timestamp on the lab computer is scrutinized. If even one procedural misstep is found, the entire case could unravel. And if that happens, the implications would be catastrophic. For Bridget's career, for the hospital's reputation, for the Forrester brand. As the courtroom drama brews in the background, the personal relationships start to fray. Hope Logan finds herself in the middle. RJ is her brother. Finn is her brother-in-law. Luna is caught in between. Hope tries to broker peace to find common ground. But there's too much heat. Too much resentment. Too many unspoken accusations. Liam Spencer, never far from the epicenter of Forrester drama, weighs in with his usual skepticism. He warns Hope that RJ's involvement could spiral fast. That custody battles have a way of becoming character assassinations. That secrets don't stay buried. His words carry weight because Liam knows what it's like to lose control of a child's future. Steffi Forrester is livid. Her husband has been humiliated. Her family is under siege. She sees this not just as a personal betrayal but a corporate threat. She begins pushing for legal protections. Amendments to stock agreements. Clauses that protect the Forrester name from being diluted by scandal. Her moves are cold, calculated, and surgical. And in doing so, she alienates Luna even further. Then there's Sheila Carter, still watching, still waiting. She doesn't need to say much. Just one comment to Deacon. You see what happens when bloodlines get messy. She knows this terrain. She's played these games. And if a crack is forming in the Forrester wall, Sheila might be the one who knows how to widen it. As the week unfolds, one truth becomes clear. This isn't just a paternity twist. This is a dynasty reset. Every shareholding reconsidered. Every family line redrawn. And with Bridget caught between medical ethics and family loyalty, one misstep could burn everything down. Because in the bold and the beautiful, no secret stays buried. No truth is ever final. And no child enters the world without igniting a war for the future. And this one? This child? This truth? It's nuclear. While Dickie drops an unwanted opinion on Hope Tuesday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, doesn't just serve up the usual family drama. It delivers a double shot of classic chaos straight from the Forrester playbook. On one side, Taylor Hayes is blindsided yet again by something Ridge Forrester drops into her lap without warning. Because apparently, 4 decades of dealing with Ridge isn't enough preparation for whatever wild news he's decided to spring on her this time. On the other side of town, Dickie makes an uninvited house call to Hope Logan under the pretense of sharing a supportive opinion, which sounds more like an excuse for unsolicited advice wrapped in Hallmark language. The result? A classic B&B episode where no one asks for drama, but everyone gets it. Let's start with the human embodiment of a boomerang romance, Ridge Forrester. According to Tuesday's spoilers, Ridge lays something on Taylor that's shocking enough to leave her reeling. That word, shocking, gets thrown around a lot in soap operas. But when it comes to Ridge and Taylor, it carries real weight. This is a man who has spent the better part of his adult life bouncing between Taylor and Brooke. Like a designer ping-pong ball, leaving broken hearts, confused children, and messy power dynamics in his wake. So the idea that Taylor is still capable of being surprised by Ridge isn't just ironic. It's borderline comical. And yet, here we are. There's no confirmation yet about the exact nature of Ridge's revelation. But it's clearly significant. It's not a minor business decision. It's not a wardrobe change at Forrester Creations. No, this is something big, personal, powerful, and perfectly designed to rip open old wounds. It could be about family. Another buried Forrester secret, or worse, another twist in Ridge's eternal romantic saga. Whatever it is, it hits Taylor hard. And you almost want to shout at the screen. Taylor, how are you still shocked by this man? This is Ridge. This is what he does. He blindsides. He pivots. He makes declarations that flip the table over just when you thought everyone was seated and eating in peace. That's the Ridge experience. The deeper tragedy here is how emotionally open Taylor continues to be. After years of Ridge bouncing between her and Brooke, after raising children in the emotional wreckage of his indecision, Taylor still lets herself be affected by his revelations. That's not weakness, it's loyalty, maybe even love, but at some point, it's also self-sabotage. And yet, as Tuesday's episode shows, when Ridge comes in with something big, Taylor still stops in her tracks. Is it another declaration about Steffi? About Thomas? About Brooke? Is he confessing to another secret meeting? Or maybe it's a move that affects the family business. Whatever it is, it derails Taylor. And it opens the door for another possible blow-up between her and Brooke. Because whenever Ridge drops a bomb, the shrapnel usually lands squarely between the two women he's never really chosen between. If Taylor reacts with calm and strategy, it'll be a miracle. But odds are, we're headed for another round of the Brooke-Taylor-Ridge triangle. Because some things never change. Meanwhile, across town, the other half of this chaotic coin flips into view. Dickie's unexpected visit to Hope Logan. Spoilers describe this as him stopping by to offer a supportive opinion, which is a euphemism so transparent you can practically see through it. Let's be real, he didn't call ahead, he didn't text, he didn't even knock politely and leave when there was no answer. No, Dickie showed up unannounced, stepped into Hope's space, and dropped his 2 cents into a situation that was already emotionally unstable. Hope didn't ask for this. Hope didn't need this. But Dickie came anyway. Why? Because he believes he has something valuable to say. Because like so many characters in the B&B universe, Dickie thinks that his insights are not just relevant, but essential. That whatever advice he's about to deliver will change Hope's life. And maybe he genuinely believes that. But this is less about support and more about inserting himself where he may not belong. It's worth noting that Hope is not in a stable emotional place right now. She's fresh off the collapse of her engagement to Carter. She's still navigating her tangled, unfinished emotional business with Liam. Her relationship with Beth is shifting. Her career is under pressure. She's balancing more than most people could handle. And in the midst of all this, Dickie decides now is the time to share his thoughts. That's not timing, that's intrusion. The spoilers don't confirm exactly what Dickie says, but it's easy to guess. Is he urging her to reconcile with Liam? To rethink her relationship choices? To return to some version of the family she once had? Maybe, but more than likely, Dickie's opinion is rooted in his personal bias. His perception of what's best for Hope based on his own complicated history. Not on what she actually wants or needs. And Hope's reaction? That's where things get murky. She might appreciate the concern. She might even nod politely. But deep down, Hope has always been a woman trying to make her own decisions. Free from the emotional tethers of the people around her. She's been pushed and pulled too many times, by her mother, by Ridge, by Liam, by Thomas. Another person walking in uninvited with a strong opinion is just one more burden she didn't sign up for. The brilliance of Tuesday's episode lies in how perfectly it captures the essence of the bold and the beautiful, emotional turbulence cloaked in everyday moments. Taylor being shocked by Ridge is a drama classic. A woman, still hoping for honesty or redemption, being sideswiped by a man who's never truly committed to clarity. Dickie visiting Hope without warning is another classic. A well-meaning figure crashing into someone else's crisis with advice that may do more harm than good. Both of these plotlines thrive on a shared theme, uninvited disruption. Ridge drops a truth bomb without warning. Dickie shows up without invitation. Both moments are laced with tension. Because both expose how fragile the lives of the Forresters and Logans really are. There is always someone arriving unannounced. Always someone revealing a truth too late. Always someone misjudging what the other person needs to hear. It's the DNA of this show. If you're watching Tuesday's episode thinking, haven't we seen this before? Yes, you have, but that's the point. Soap operas live in the space between repetition and reinvention. Taylor's ongoing reactions to Ridge's messes aren't just frustrating, they're real. They reflect what happens when love and history make it impossible to fully walk away. Dickie's interference isn't just annoying. It's a reminder that even well-meaning people can do damage when they don't read the room. And that's why fans keep watching. Because no matter how many times Ridge shocks Taylor, or how many unsolicited visits Dickie makes, there's always a deeper mess unraveling beneath the surface. One that promises more secrets, more fallout, and more beautifully bold chaos to come.